5-month-old boy from London has become one of the first children to be treated with a groundbreaking new gene therapy drug after it was made available on the National Health Service in England. At a cost of $2.5 million per patient, Zolgensma is the world's most expensive drug and can increase the life expectancy by several years. Our medical editor Fergus Walsh explains.
This is the world's most expensive medicine. The list price of Zolgensma is almost £1.8 million, though the NHS has negotiated a confidential discount which will enable dozens of affected infants to be treated each year. 5-month-old Arthur is one of the first to benefit. He has spinal muscular atrophy, SMA, a genetic condition which causes progressive muscle weakness. Without treatment, those affected rarely live beyond the age of 2. Arthur is unable to lift his head and struggles to move his arms and legs. But this single infusion should prevent further loss of nerve cells.
It's been a massive ups and downs, but being able to now have the treatment is just going to be a game changer for us and give Arthur the best possible life he could have.
Around 1 in every 10,000 babies is born with spinal muscular atrophy. What is remarkable is this one-off treatment may permanently stop any further decline in Arthur's muscle function. So how does Zolgensma work? It contains a healthy copy of a missing or faulty gene called SMN1. This is inserted into a harmless virus. In the body, the virus delivers the replacement gene into the nucleus of motor neuron cells. This is essential to prevent those cells from gradually dying. The now healthy motor neuron cells start producing the missing SMN protein, which is vital for muscle function.
How's Arthur?
Evelina Children's Hospital in London is one of a handful of centres in the UK which will offer this groundbreaking gene therapy.
20 years ago, a baby born with the severe form of SMA would have a very shortened life expectancy. We can now offer treatment that can really alter the outlook for these children.
Some other infants treated with Zolgensma have seen their condition not just stabilise but improve. Arthur's parents say they know it's not a cure and they're simply delighted that he's been treated. Fergus Walsh, BBC News.
Well, let's hear now about a little girl called Tora who has had the gene therapy treatment. Tora was able to have it while her family were living in New York. They are now back in the UK and her father Rajdeep Patgiri joins me with Tora now from London. Tora, can you hear us? How are you, Tora?
She's busy with painting.
Okay, she's busy painting. Oh, that's good. Well, look, it's great to have you on, Rajdeep. So, did you have exactly the same treatment in New York? And just tell us at what age Tora had it and how things improved.
Yep, it's exactly the same Zolgensma, same method of administration through the intravenous route. She received her treatment at the age of 10.5 months, which was almost 2 years ago, in July 2019.
So Tora is now almost 3, and I'm told that it's the quick diagnosis of SMA which is so key to being able to address this. Where was Tora diagnosed and how quickly?
So we noticed first concerns at around the age of 3.5 months, and she was diagnosed at the age of 5.5 months at the Great Ormond Street Hospital in London in February 2019. Unfortunately, there was no treatment available for her at that time in the UK. So we had to relocate to the US for her treatment, basically.
And how quickly did you start to notice an improvement?
So the first noticeable impact came maybe in about a month's time, when her sitting became much more confident and stable. And I would say the first 6 months, the gains were slow but steady, like very small gains but steadily. But since about the age of 1.5 years, she has been progressing much more rapidly. Especially the last 6 months, I would say she has improved significantly.
And what is her quality of life now? I know people who've had SMA and who are living and working and thriving, but they are in wheelchairs. They need 24-hour-a-day care as well. But what was the prognosis for Tora were she not to have had this?
SMA as a condition without treatment is a fatal condition, especially when diagnosed in early childhood. So at the time of diagnosis, we were told the historical facts that most SMA children, especially with type 1, die between the age of, or at least before the age of 3 years old.
And what can Tora do now, for example, aged almost 3? I mean, is she able to walk and stand without support? Apart from putting pencils and crayons in your mouth.
So she's able to stand without support. She's able to sit. She's able to roll. She's able to crawl a little bit. She can walk with support, but not yet without support. We are hoping that she gets there at some point in the future. But we just have to be patient and persistent with her physiotherapy.
All right. Well, look, we wish you the best of luck. Tora, I think you've heard us, but you're still engrossed in your painting. But Rajdeep Patkin, thank you very much indeed for coming on and just explaining about this